Hi gamers, hope you're all having a great day so far. Thanks for tuning in and stopping by. My name is RISTE, and in today's video, we're going to be asking not Riot Games, not anybody from the Garen mains community, not myself, not your mom, not your dog, not your pet goldfish, but an artificial intelligence as to what changes should be made to modernize Garen to be relevant and balanced in Season 13 and onwards. I think this is really, really cool. I've seen a lot of videos pop up prompting ChatGPT, and I really want to take a swing on it myself because I've yet to go ahead and ask ChatGPT any questions related to Garen. So let's go ahead and see what this artificial intelligence has in mind for making Garen better than he already is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Here we go, guys. Hey gamers, are you feeling stuck in your games, unable to climb? Fortunately, I had the place just in mind for you. Gosu Academy is a training program featuring multiple live sessions every month from coaches like myself who play at the higher level, ready to help you and your needs to climb. There's VOD reviews, prize pool challenges, and a lot of fun, all relating to help you improve. Students who join the Academy experience accelerated learning, normally twice as fast than digesting content on your own. Curious about joining a community this focused on getting better? You guys better click the link in the description fast because the first 50 people to sign up are getting a month absolutely free. That's about it. Let's go ahead and dive straight into the content. Let's get this going. Okay, so I already have the chat message typed out. It says, hey ChatGPT, how would you rework Garen to be a more balanced and modernized champion in League of Legends? Let's go ahead and fire it off. All right, so got a lot of stuff here. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. There we go. All right, that's pretty good. To rework Garen and make it more balanced and modernized in League of Legends, there are several areas that could be addressed. Here are some potential changes that could be considered. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start right off with this passive. Let's see what ChatGPT has for Garen's passive. Garen's passive ability, Perseverance, could be upgraded to provide more meaningful sustain. Rather than simply regenerating health when out of combat, it can be modified to give Garen a temporary shield when he takes damage, scaling off of his bonus health or resistances. This would allow for more strategic decision-making in fights and provide a defensive tool that rewards skillful play. I think that's actually rather interesting. Garen gets hit and he gets the shield. I think that's kind of interesting. It's almost like a reversal of Camille passive, because in order for Camille to get her passive, she has to deal damage. For Garen to get a shield, he takes damage. I feel like that's a little strange. It's almost like an enhanced bone plating ability, but you know, I think in the direction for this REWORK, you know, for Garen to receive that type of ability is really strange on his passive, because he already has a shield on his W. But then again, maybe ChatGPT doesn't know this. Let's go ahead and find out what ChatGPT says about the rest of his abilities, and maybe we can piece together the context clues here a little bit. All right, here we go, everybody. Let's go ahead and move to Garen's Q, Decisive Strike. Decisive Strike is not only an iconic ability for Garen that enhances his next basic attack. To modernize it, the ability can retain its current functionality, but also grant Garen a short burst of movement speed after using it, encouraging him to stick to his targets and make it easier for him to engage or disengage from fights. Interesting, so ChatGPT is implying that when Garen uses his Q to silence a target, it should also be paired with a speed boost. I think that's an amazing idea. Honestly, Garen's a very slow, sluggish champion. I would love to have a speed boost attached to Garen's Q. All right, Riot Games, so you're watching this video, you're taking notes, definitely go ahead and add Garen's Q some movement speed boost. You know, I think that'd be really cool. They should have it scale per rank, so that way it doesn't get like a extreme amount of movement speed. So that way it would maybe incentivize Q max. I think that'd be really cool. Also, I think like they should add something else to it. You know, almost like, like maybe it should cleanse a form of crowd control. I think if it cleansed just any crowd control, it'd be too OP. So how about they make it so he could go ahead and cleanse slows instead? I think that'd be really cool. ChatGPT, do you like that? Okay, I think ChatGPT likes it. All right, let's go ahead and move on to his next ability. Garen's W ability, Courage, provides him with the passive defensive bonuses and an active damage reduction shield. To make it more engaging and skillful, the passive could be updated to provide stacking resistances or damage reduction for each champion nearby, incentivizing Garen to be in the midst of fights. The active shield could be also made more impactful, scaling with Garen's bonus health resistances and potentially cleansing their crowd control abilities when activating. So Garen's W right now gives him a high amount of tenacity, which stacks additively with like Legend Tenacity and Mercury Treads. So right now, Garen can achieve very, very high values of tenacity that almost allows him to cleanse certain crowd control abilities, or get very close to doing that. For example, stuns, targeted slows, yada, yada, yada. For him to cleanse crowd control ability entirely, like suppressions and like knockups and stuff like that, I feel like would be too OP. But, you know, with more modern champions being released that are 300 years, maybe this could be realistically in the scope of a modernized champion. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, honestly, I think Garen's W is pretty strong enough as is. One thing I personally think that I would like to see is maybe the strength of shield go up per rank, which could really allow for some more tactical plays in high-low, especially when Garen's W is timed correctly compared to incorrectly. So yeah, I'm a little lukewarm about this potential change. I think this is just basically making Garen busted, but who knows? Maybe ChatGPT doesn't have a really good semblance or a good perspective as to what actually makes a champion balanced in League of Legends. So let's go ahead and mosey on over to the next ability. Garen's E, Judgment. Judgment is Garen's iconic spinning ability, dealing damage to nearby enemies. While this ability is visually appealing, it can be improved by granting Garen some form of crowd control resistance or tenacity during its duration, allowing him to continue dealing damage or disrupting opponents even when subjected to crowd control effects. That's kind of crazy. I mean, Garen's W already has tenacity. ChatGPT wants even more tenacity and more crowd control reduction. You know, I think if I'm about to read Garen's R, I bet if Garen R is cast, ChatGPT is going to suggest that he should be immune to crowd control for like 5 or 10 seconds. Maybe if you ult a target successfully, it makes him immune to crowd control completely for the next 10 seconds. It's going to be like a reversal of Olaf's ultimate. I do think that like a modernized but healthy champion rework would include counterplay, but I don't think ChatGPT really understands this concept too well. I dare say. But I digress. Let's go ahead and move on to the ultimate. I do think that this rework so far is kind of busted. I mean, let's talk about like the hypothetical champion gets reworked. Has a 60% win rate. Everyone's spamming left or right. Garen's picker band status. Garen's being played in the world stage because he's immune to crowd control. ChatGPT, you have one final ability to redeem this rework. I have the highest of hopes for you. Let's go ahead and scroll and see what ChatGPT suggests for Garen's new modernized ultimate. There we go. The Bosnian Justice Garen's ultimate ability can remain largely unchanged as it provides a satisfying finishing blow. However, to make it more balanced, the damage can be adjusted to better reflect Garen's role as a juggernaut while taking into account the opponent's current health and resistances. Interesting. So what ChatGPT is doing to make Garen kind of immune to crowd control here is saying, hey, we should nerf Garen's ultimate to compensate for this. Now, I think that Garen's ultimate is pretty strong enough as is. Maybe some people do argue that it is a bit too strong. You know, in the future with Garen's iteration, Garen's ultimate being nerfed to allow potential changes. Not saying that ChatGPT's suggestions are really the most down, but any changes, it could be a lever to examine. So I think that, like, even though we don't know exactly how these numbers would land, I do think that, like, nerfing Garen's ultimate to allow seal suppression in some of his other abilities or enhancement of one of his abilities is definitely on the table. So even though this answer is not the most satisfying, it does pose the question, you know, what could be adjusted in Garen's kit? Could it be given an enhancement and then nerfed in compensation? Who knows? It's a pretty interesting to think about. Passive gameplay adjustments. Garen's passive gameplay pattern of waiting in brushes or retreating to regenerate health could be altered to encourage a more active engagement. This could involve reducing the passive health regeneration or providing other tools to sustain and mitigate damage during combat, which I do think that Garen's passive is pretty balanced as is. It's basically a miniature Warmrog, not allowing him to get back into fights super quickly, but does allow him to stay on the field for long periods of time. Although I do think that Garen's always going to have a tanky assassin burst playstyle, it's interesting to see what ChatGPT is going to suggest to go ahead and free Garen's dependency or preference in this playstyle. Let's go ahead and read and see what they suggest, okay? It's important to note that these suggestions are conceptual and require careful balance testing to ensure Garen remains viable, enjoyable play. Ultimately, a successful rework would aim to preserve Garen's core identity, which the previous paragraph kind of contradicts a little bit, while introducing more strategic decision-making, interactive gameplay elements. So yeah, I think that overall that this type of suggestion is a bit of a roller coaster here. You know, out of all the suggestions, I think the Q is my favorite. Yeah, honestly, I don't know why Garen doesn't have a speed boost. He should have a speed boost. Give him a slow cleanse. I think that'd be the coolest thing on Garen Q. You know, make the ability more dynamic. You know, honestly. But hey, you guys let me know what you guys think about this video and what ChatGPT thinks about modernizing Garen. Would you guys suggest a better rework that's better than ChatGPT's? I want to see it in the comments below. But regardless, thanks everybody so much for watching. I hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful time watching this video and joining me on this crazy adventure with ChatGPT. I really think that artificial intelligence could take over gameplay design for League of Legends. Don't you agree? I can see a glimmer and glimpse of it in this very video. But that's all the time I got for today's video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next Super Duper. Demacia, baby.
And when everything is upside down, when you're yelling but you make no sound, life is gonna